Hi, this is Delene with McDonald's Sewing and Vacuum, and I'm going to show you today in Premier+2 how to create quilting to go around a quilt design or an embroidery design in a quilt block. So I have Premier+2 Ultra open. You can do this in either Embroidery Extra or Embroidery Ultra. And this is a really great opportunity to take advantage of one of the wizards in the system. So I'm going to click on the Wizards tab here. Then I'm going to click on Quilt Block. And I want to use the first option. I have a filled quilt block with an inner embroidery. Or I want to fill a quilt block that already has an inner embroidery. My block is a square, so I'm going to select that, but there are other shapes of blocks available. I'm not going to change the angle right now, but the size, I do know that my quilt blocks is a 10-inch square, so I'm going to change that to a 10-inch square. I like to also change from metric to inches when I'm working with quilts in the software, so I do that in the settings before I get started. So I'm going to change this to 10 inches square and click on Next. And then I'm going to open my embroidery design that I want to work with. And there's one in here that I stitched out the other day. And it's so cute. These designs are so sweet. Cute little puppy face. And then I'm going to click on Next. This is where you can adjust the embroidery if you want to. You can adjust the margin. So let's say I change the margin to 0.02, that's going to give me a little greater distance around the dog's face. I'm going to go back to 197. To make it a little more dramatic here, let's show you 0.5. So there's a big space there. I think a ½ inch is a little too much. I do like what it defaulted to, which is 0.197. So I'm going to click on Next. And the first option that it comes up with is the stipple. You can leave it the way it is, or you can change it so it's straight, and you can change it so it's a triple stitch if you want to, but here's what a straight stipple is going to look like. I really prefer the curved myself. If you wanted to do some stipple quilting, minute, very small stipple quilting, you could change this to 0.05 and see how that goes. Oh, I've got 0.005. That might be really, really small. Okay. So I've changed it back to curve, and I've made this micro stippling. It's teeny tiny. So that's really too small for me. I like the default of 197, so we're going to stick with that and with the running stitch. But notice you can also change the length of the stitch, which is nice. Okay, so back to the default stipple. You could also do channel lines, parallel lines, you can do diagonal lines, either direction. Again, you can change the gap and various other things here. You can also do diamonds. And let's say I want, or square or crosshatch. This is kind of a curved crosshatch. Let's say I want to go with this second diamond option, and I want to make the gap bigger. I'm going to try my 0.5 again, and that gives you a more open look. There are also motifs, and think of these as some of the stitches from your machine. And it's set up right now, it's kind of hard to see, but this is a little star motif. And I'm going to change this so you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to change the height of the star to ½ inch tall. That was Snickerdoodle in the background if you heard that. And I'm also going to make a gap of 25%. This is percent, not inches, so it's a little different way of looking at it. And there you go. Now you can really tell that those stars are there. So there are all kinds of stitches available for this. You've got universal, Viking, Foff stitches, and really you just have to play around with them to see what you like. There's an echo option, a contour option, and a shape option, or two of them. But I'm going to go back to my stipple. I really kind of like the way that one looks. And I'm going to click on Finish. And what it does now is create the stitching that goes around the embroidery design that I stitched the other day. So there you go. That's how easy that is to do. There's one more thing I want to show you to do before I am ready to use this design for quilting. I actually want to remove the dog from the middle of the design. So I'm going to restrict groups and just get that design selected. And then I'm going to go to the Modify tab, and you see now all I have is the dog, and I can do box select, select the dog, and delete those designs. And when I go back home, there's a dog-shaped design in the middle of my stippling. Okay, so I'm just going to go here to File, Save As. I'm going to call it my dog on it 3 stipple because I don't want that stitching out. So I'm going to replace one that I'd saved earlier, and then I'm going to export this into VP3 format as well. And I'm going to replace the one that I did earlier there. And then I'm ready to go stitch the quilt out when it's ready.